We live in a world obsessed with control. From the way we manage our time, relationships, and emotions, to how we plan our future, control feels like safety. It gives us a sense of direction, predictability, and power. We grip tightly to our routines, our identities, and our expectations, believing that if we just hold on a little harder, we can make life bend to our will. But beneath that illusion of control lies the truth most people spend their lives avoiding. Control is an emotional defense mechanism, not real power. The paradox is that true mastery doesn't come from tightening your grip. It comes from releasing it. Letting go isn't weakness. It's the ultimate act of psychological strength. At the heart of this illusion is the brain's desperate need for certainty. Neurologically, the human mind is wired to predict. Your brain's primary function isn't to make you happy, it's to keep you alive. And it does that by constantly trying to anticipate what comes next. Every plan you make, every backup plan you form, every moment you try to force things into alignment, your brain is trying to minimize surprise. Uncertainty equals danger to the primitive mind. So control becomes a kind of emotional armor. You don't just plan your life, you try to plan your feelings. You try to control how others see you, how situations unfold, how people react, and even how you'll respond in the future. But reality doesn't cooperate with that fantasy. Life isn't a chessboard you can dominate, it's a river you have to learn to flow with. When you resist that truth, you start to suffer. You cling to outcomes, and that clinging becomes a form of tension that quietly drains your energy. You start to live in a constant state of micro-anxiety, trying to anticipate every possible problem, every possible rejection, every possible disappointment. You believe that vigilance equals safety, but in reality it's a form of imprisonment. The more you try to control, the more life slips out of your hands. Like trying to hold water in your palm, the tighter you squeeze, the faster it escapes. Here's where the paradox begins to reveal itself. Surrender is not the opposite of power, it's the source of it. Letting go doesn't mean giving up, it means accepting that you can only control two things: your actions and your attitude. Everything else, other people's emotions, the future, outcomes, timing, is not in your domain. When you stop wasting mental energy on what you can't change, you redirect all that focus toward what you can actually influence. That shift creates clarity, and clarity is power. Instead of being scattered by fear, you become centered in purpose. You begin to act from intention, not reaction. Psychologists call this the locus of control. People with an internal locus believe that their power comes from their choices and mindset, not from external circumstances. But here's the subtle trap. Even those who claim to have an internal locus can still fall into the control illusion. They confuse responsibility with manipulation. They try to control outcomes instead of focusing on consistent action. True internal control means releasing your attachment to results. You give your best effort, stay aligned with your values, and trust that whatever follows is exactly what you can handle. Neuroscience backs this up. When you practice acceptance, when you consciously release resistance to what is, the brain's default mode network quiets. This is the region responsible for rumination, worry, and self-criticism. In its place, the prefrontal cortex becomes more active, allowing for calm decision-making and emotional regulation. Surrender, on a neural level, reduces noise. It's not apathy, it's efficiency. You're no longer wasting energy trying to rewrite reality. You're channeling it toward adapting, learning, and evolving. Think about how this applies in daily life. When you try to control people, they pull away. When you try to control outcomes, you become anxious. But when you let go, when you release your grip and trust your process, things often fall into place in ways you couldn't have engineered. The universe, or if you prefer, the complexity of life itself, tends to reward alignment over control. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop reacting and start creating. Letting go is not passivity, it's collaboration with reality. Consider the moments when you've performed at your best. The athlete in flow, the musician lost in rhythm, the speaker whose words seem to pour out effortlessly. All of them share one thing in common: surrender. They've let go of the need to control every move, every note, every word. Instead, they trust the preparation, the process, and the present moment. That's when human potential peaks, not under the clenched fist of control, but through the open hand of awareness. Flow state, as psychologists call it, is the art of being fully immersed and yet detached from the need for perfection. That's where real power lives. The illusion of control also manifests in relationships. We want people to think, feel, and act the way we believe they should. We craft our image, choose our words carefully, hide our emotions, and then wonder why we feel disconnected. The truth is, love, respect, and authenticity cannot be engineered. They can only be invited. When you stop trying to control how others perceive you, you make space for genuine connection. Vulnerability is the currency of real relationships, and vulnerability requires surrender. You can't control how someone reacts to your honesty, but you can control your courage to express it. That's the essence of emotional mastery. Letting go is also the foundation of resilience. Life will not follow your script, no matter how detailed it is. Plans will collapse, people will change, and circumstances will blindside you. When your peace depends on control, chaos will always win. But when your peace depends on adaptability, nothing can truly shake you. You stop expecting certainty and start cultivating flexibility. That flexibility doesn't make you fragile, it makes you unbreakable. Because you no longer need life to cooperate in order to feel grounded. You've learned how to anchor yourself internally, regardless of external storms. Letting go also means releasing attachment to the past. We often replay old mistakes, lost opportunities, or painful memories, trying to rewrite them in our minds. But control doesn't exist backward. It exists only now. Every time you mentally fight the past, you drain the energy you could be using to build the present. The same applies to the future. Worry is a disguised form of control. It tricks you into thinking you're preparing, but all you're really doing is rehearsing fear. True preparation doesn't come from imagining every disaster. It comes from trusting your ability to respond when it matters. This mindset shift doesn't happen overnight. Letting go feels unnatural at first because it goes against our survival wiring. Your ego will fight it. The mind craves control because control feels like safety. But safety isn't the same as peace. Safety is external, peace is internal, and peace only comes when you stop fighting what is. The moment you stop demanding that life be different, life starts to open up in unexpected ways. You notice opportunities you once missed because your vision was clouded by resistance. You start to see beauty in imperfection and strength in surrender. Letting go doesn't mean you stop striving. It means you strive differently. You move from control to flow, from fear to trust, from rigidity to resilience. You still set goals, but you detach from needing them to unfold exactly as planned. You still care deeply, but you don't let care turn into control. You still work hard, but you work with life, not against it. This is emotional Aikido, using the energy of uncertainty to your advantage instead of letting it crush you. In the end, the illusion of control is the mind's last stand against truth. The truth that life is dynamic, unpredictable, and uncontrollable. But that same truth holds your liberation. Because when you let go, you stop living in resistance and start living in rhythm. You become responsive instead of reactive, fluid instead of fragile, present instead of paranoid. That's when you realize something profound. You were never supposed to control the world. You were supposed to master yourself within it. So let the world move. Let people come and go. Let plans evolve. The tighter you cling, the more you suffer. The more you release, the more you rise. Real power isn't found in controlling life. It's found in dancing with it. The paradox is clear. The moment you stop trying to control everything, you finally start to control the one thing that ever mattered, yourself.